14 moves. That is exactly what stands between you and a seamless trip in 2025, or a total travel meltdown. And I'm not talking about basic advice like roll your clothes or bring a neck pillow. Forget that. I'm talking about the hidden system that airlines and airports actually run on. We are dealing with a system that is designed to close doors 15 minutes early, cancel your ticket automatically without asking you, and treat that bright red fragile sticker on your bag as a legally meaningless decoration. Stay with me. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how one wrong app choice, a completely outdated myth about seat maps, and a single decision you make about the bathroom can trigger denied boarding, destroyed gear, or the worst flight of your life. I'm going to give you the binary switches, the do this, not that, so you stop traveling like a tourist and start operating like an insider. Let's beat the system. Let's start with the tool in your pocket. You're sitting at the airport bar. You check your phone. The big travel app, Expedia, Kayak, Booking, whatever, says your flight is on time. You finish your drink, walk to the gate, and guess what? The door is locked. The plane is there, but the jetway is pulled. What happened? Your screen lied to you. Well, actually, it just read you yesterday's news. Here is the technical reality that nobody tells you. Aggregator apps pull their data from multiple feeds using refresh cycles. They are not plugged directly into the airline's live operations center in real time. They poll for data every few minutes to save on API costs. During normal operations? Fine. But during disruptions? That 5-minute delay is the difference between making the flight and sleeping on the floor. When a thunderstorm hits and gates start shuffling every 10 minutes, the airline's operations center pushes those changes to its own app instantly. They control the message. They control the seat map. They control the rebooking logic. While your third-party app is still buffering and showing gate A4, the airline app has already flipped your boarding time, moved you to gate C10, and, if things go really wrong, offered you a one-tap button to grab the last seat on the 9:40 p.m. flight. So, what's the play? You need to install the actual airline's app. If you book through a third party, fine. But get the airline's app, create a profile, and load your specific trip, your PNR, into it. And here is a pro tip for international travel. If you are flying a code share, say you booked on Delta but you're actually flying on Air France, download both apps. The operating carrier, Air France, publishes the real delays first. The marketing carrier, Delta, often shows a generic status. The aggregator? It just averages them out and confuses you. Don't let your tools run on stale data. Let's talk about where you sit. You want that perfect window seat. You go to Seat Guru, you see a green seat, you pay extra for it. You board the plane, walk down the aisle, and you're staring at a solid plastic wall. No window. You feel cheated. But the map didn't lie to you. It just ghosted you. Seat Guru is essentially a zombie site. It hasn't been properly updated in years. Since it was bought out, it stopped keeping pace with the rapid changes airlines are making to their cabins. Airlines are constantly densifying cabins. That's corporate speak for shoving more rows in. They slide rows closer together, move galleys, or add a bathroom where a closet used to be. Seat Guru shows you the plane from 2015. You are flying on the plane from 2025. The modern alternative is Aerolopa. If you don't know Aerolopa, write this down. They don't use generic cartoons. They build CAD-accurate layouts that mirror the real interiors of the specific aircraft. I'm talking exact window alignment, true bulkhead distances, and the actual location of power sockets. Why does this matter? Because of something called misaligned rows. In modern economy cabins, the seats are on a track system that doesn't always line up with the windows, which are structural cutouts in the fuselage. Aerolopa will show you exactly which row has a window and which row has a blank wall. It also distinguishes between sub-variants. An Airbus A321neo comes in different flavors: LR, XLR, Standard. They have different bathroom placements. Seat Guru treats them all the same. Aerolopa knows that on the XLR, row 24 might have zero recline because of a new water tank behind the wall. Before you pay $50 for a seat assignment, verify the aircraft subtype in your booking and cross-check it on Aerolopa. Don't pay for a view of plastic. This one is the silent killer of vacations. I see this happen every single holiday season. You show up at the check-in desk, you hand over your passport, it doesn't expire for another 4 months. You're good, right? The agent types it in, looks at you and says, "I can't let you board." You panic. "But it's valid," you say. "It doesn't expire until August." It doesn't matter. The rule isn't about the date printed in your booklet. It's about the destination's buffer. Most countries require your passport to be valid for months beyond your planned departure date. They do this to prevent you from getting stuck there and becoming an undocumented person if you get hospitalized or delayed. The Schengen area in Europe typically wants 3 months past your planned departure. But here's where it gets messy. Many airlines apply a blanket 6-month rule just to be safe. They don't want to get fined. If they fly you to Bali and Indonesian immigration turns you away, the airline has to fly you back at their own expense and pay a massive fine. They will not take that risk. And then there is the 6-month club in the US, which exempts some passports from this rule, making travelers think they are safe everywhere. You are not. When you check in, the agent isn't making a judgment call. They are looking at a database called Thematic. It's the global rule book. If Thematic says no, you aren't flying. No amount of arguing with a supervisor will change the software. The workaround involves using an operational expiration date. Look at the date in your passport and subtract 9 months. That is your real expiration date. If you are inside that 9-month window, renew it immediately. Do not wait. Renewing a passport is a hassle. Getting denied boarding at the gate while your family goes on vacation without you is a tragedy. Let's talk about fire, specifically the fire in your backpack. We all travel with power banks, massive batteries for our cameras, and laptops. There is a very specific reason the gate agent asks you, "Do you have any lithium batteries in your checked bag?" It's not because they want to annoy you. It's because of thermal runaway. If a lithium-ion battery gets crushed or punctured in the cargo hold, say by the heavy suitcase stacked on top of it, it can short circuit. When it shorts, it heats up. Once it hits a certain temperature, the chemistry takes over. It starts making its own oxygen. Cargo compartments have fire suppression systems that use halon gas. Halon is great at smothering a fire fueled by clothes or paper. It starves the fire of oxygen. But remember what I just said? A lithium battery fire creates its own oxygen. Halon cannot stop a thermal runaway. It will burn until it consumes all the fuel, potentially taking the plane down with it. In the cabin, it's different. If your battery starts smoking in the overhead bin, the flight attendants are trained to spot it, isolate it, and drown it in water or put it in a thermal containment bag. Here is the secret you need to know. Know your watt hours. Go look at your battery right now. Under 100 watt hours? You can bring these in your carry-on without asking. 100 to 160 watt hours? You are usually limited to 2 spares, and technically you need airline approval, though this is rarely checked if you aren't flaunting it. Over 160 watt hours? These are illegal on passenger aircraft. Period. If you are a photographer or a tech worker, run a tech pouch audit. Tape the terminals of your spare batteries so they can't short out against keys or coins. Keep them in your carry-on. Never, ever gate check a bag without pulling the batteries first. You are saving the crew from a nightmare scenario. This is my favorite piece of airport theater. You pack a bottle of wine or a nice camera monitor in your suitcase. You go to the counter. You smile at the agent and ask for a fragile sticker. They slap it on. You feel better. You just played yourself. That sticker is legally meaningless. In fact, in the airline's contract of carriage, that long document you agreed to but never read, it specifically excludes liability for fragile or perishable items. By accepting the bag with the sticker, the airline is often signaling that they are aware it's fragile and are accepting it only on the condition that they aren't responsible if it breaks. Furthermore, the baggage handlers? They are moving thousands of bags an hour. They aren't reading stickers. And the automated system definitely isn't. Your bag goes onto a conveyor belt system that moves at high speeds. It uses kickers, mechanical arms that punch your bag off the main line onto the correct chute. These kickers exert serious force. A sticker does not stop a mechanical arm from drop-kicking your suitcase onto a concrete slide. And that glossy shrink wrap you paid $20 for? If the EDS, Explosive Detection System, flags your bag for a search, the TSA or security will cut that wrap off. They will open the bag, rifle through it, and they will not re-wrap it. Now you have a compromised bag with no protection rolling through the system. So, how do you protect your gear? Treat fragile as a joke. If it is expensive, irreplaceable, or breakable, it goes in the cabin with you. If you absolutely must check it, maybe it's too big, buy a Pelican case or a hardshell case with dense foam. And buy third-party cargo insurance, because the airline will give you $0 when that lens arrives in pieces. Speaking of bags, let's talk about smart luggage. A few years ago, suitcases with built-in chargers were the hottest Christmas gift. Now, they are the quickest way to get denied at check-in. Most carriers have a hard rule. If the battery is non-removable, the bag does not fly. It doesn't matter if the battery is off. If you can't pop it out, you can't check the bag. I have seen people forced to leave $400 suitcases at the airport trash can because they couldn't unscrew the battery panel. Do a quick audit of your luggage. If it has a battery, make sure it ejects with a simple click. If you need a screwdriver, it's the wrong bag. Now, let's talk about losing bags. Airline tracking has improved, but it isn't real time. It is scan time. It tells you where the bag was when a human scanned it. It doesn't tell you where the bag is. During the baggage meltdowns we've seen lately, systems lose inventory entirely. You need your own data. There is only one reliable workaround in 2025. AirTags, Tiles, or Samsung Smart Tags. Put one in every single checked bag. These use low-power Bluetooth to ping off other people's phones. It creates a mesh network that works independently of the airline's IT system. When the airline tells you, "We don't know where your bag is," you can open your phone and say, "I do. It's in Terminal 5 near Carousel 6 in the back office." That specific information allows the staff to actually go look for it. Without it, you are just another complaint in the file. You look at your boarding pass. It says departure, 8:30 a.m. You think, great, if I'm on the plane by 8:25, I'm good. Wrong. You are missing the flight. Airlines run on a metric called D0. It stands for departed with 0 minutes of delay. But D0 doesn't measure when the plane takes off. It measures when the parking brake is released and the door is closed. To hit D0, the gate agents have a hard stop. Usually this is 15 minutes before departure, but on some budget carriers it's 20 or even 30. At that 15-minute mark, the agent freezes the flight manifest. They send the final passenger count to the pilots. The pilots punch those numbers into the flight computer to calculate weight, balance, and takeoff speeds. If the agent reopens the door for you, that data becomes invalid. They have to redo the paperwork. That causes a delay. That delay hits the agent's performance metrics. They get in trouble. So they have a strong incentive to let you stand there banging on the glass. Even worse, around the 20-minute mark, the system often auto-releases unclaimed seats to standby passengers. So even if the plane is sitting there, your seat might legally belong to the guy who is waiting on the standby list. Here is how you avoid the cutoff. Stop looking at the departure time. That time is irrelevant to you. Look at the boarding time and treat that as your deadline. Be at the gate 45 minutes early for domestic, 60 for international. The moment you are scanning your pass, you are safe. If you are running down the concourse at D-16, you are gambling with math that is stacked against you. You arrive at security. You see two lines. Line A is short, line B is long. You naturally pick line A, and then you stand there for 20 minutes while line B flies past you. Why? Because you fell for a visual fallacy. The speed of a security line is not determined by the number of people. It is determined by the type of people and the type of scanner. Line A has 5 people in it, but they are a family of 5 with 3 strollers, a bag of liquids they forgot to pack, and a grandma with a hip replacement. That lane is dead. It's not moving. Line B has 20 people in it, but they are all solo business travelers in suits. They have their laptops out before they even hit the belt. They have pre-check. They move through in 10 seconds each. You also need to look at the hardware. Look at the X-ray machines. Old machines. You have to take laptops and liquids out. This creates a bottleneck as people fumble with trays. New CT scanners. These look like big white medical donuts. You can keep everything inside your bag. These lines should move faster, but only if people realize they don't need to unpack. The strategy is simple. Don't just count heads, profile the queue. Look for road warriors, people who look like they travel for work. Follow them. Avoid families with small children. Sorry, parents, but it's true. And always, always enroll in TSA PreCheck or Global Entry. It stabilizes the variables. You are paying for a predictable wait time, not just a shorter line. Here is a scenario. You are at the gate. You have to pee. But boarding is starting in 10 minutes, so you think, I'll just hold it and go on the plane. You board. You sit down. The pilot comes on the intercom. Folks, we have a minor flow control delay into Chicago. We're going to be holding here on the ramp for a bit. You are now in a metal tube. You cannot get up because the aircraft is technically active. You might be sitting there for 45 minutes. Then you taxi for 20 minutes. Then the climb out takes 20 minutes. You are now in physical pain. Ground holds, ramp congestion, and ATC delays happen instantly. Once that seatbelt sign is on, the flight attendants cannot legally let you use the bathroom. If you get up, the pilots have to stop the plane. The move here is the pre-boarding bio break. Make it a mandatory item on your checklist. 15 minutes before boarding starts, go to the bathroom in the terminal, even if you don't think you need to. Terminal bathrooms are larger, cleaner, and they aren't moving. Empty the tank before you get in the tube. Don't let biology ruin your departure. Let's get a little scientific and a little gross. You grab a bean burrito or a massive salad at the airport food court. It feels healthy. It feels fine. Then you take off. As the plane climbs, the air pressure in the cabin drops. It's pressurized, but only to about 6,000 or 8,000 feet equivalent. Boyle's law states that as pressure decreases, the volume of a gas increases. The gas in your intestines expands by about 30% at cruising altitude. If you ate high residue foods, beans, broccoli, cabbage, onions, carbonated sodas, your gut is now full of fermenting gas that is rapidly expanding. This leads to severe bloating, cramping, and a phenomenon politely known as HAFE, high-altitude flatus expulsion. You are uncomfortable, your neighbors are suffering, and it ruins your ability to relax. To avoid this, adopt the low-residue diet. For 24 hours before a flight, eat simple. Lean proteins, white rice, eggs, toast. Avoid fiber bombs and fizz. Drink still water, not sparkling. Your body is already working harder in the dry, thin air. Don't give it a chemistry experiment to deal with. You want to look good at the airport. I get it. But that chunky belt, those lace-up boots, and those jeans with the bedazzled pockets are a tactical error. Modern security scanners, the AIT body scanners, use millimeter waves to look for anomalies on your body. They are dumb machines. They don't know the difference between a hidden weapon and a bundle of fabric or a metal stud on your jeans. If you wear underwire bras, fit cargo pockets, or heavy jewelry, you create hot spots on the scan. This forces a pat-down. A pat-down takes time. It's invasive. It slows you down. And the footwear? If you aren't in pre-check, you have to take your shoes off. If you are wearing complex lace-up boots or strappy gladiator sandals, you are the person holding up the line while you struggle on the floor. So how should you dress? For the machine. Slip-ons? Essential. Socks? Essential. Do not walk barefoot on that airport floor, trust me. The layering strategy. Wear a light t-shirt through security so the scanner gets a clean read. Put your heavy jacket and scarf in the bin. Put them back on after you clear the checkpoint. Non-metal accessories. Swap the heavy belt for a friction belt or no belt. You want to be the ghost passenger, the one who glides through without a single beep or pat down. Okay, speaking of the security line, let's touch on something nasty. What is the dirtiest thing at the airport? The toilet flush handle? The escalator rail? No, it is the security tray. Think about it. Those gray bins are handled by millions of people. They have shoes inside them. They have dirty bags inside them. And they are almost never deep cleaned during operating hours. And what do? You take your phone, the thing you press against your face, and you drop it face down into the bin. You put your sunglasses in there. Then you pick them up and put them on your face. Studies have shown that security trays carry more respiratory viruses than the toilets. It is a massive vector for getting sick right before your vacation. The counter move is the pocket preload. While you are standing in line, put your phone, wallet, keys, and sunglasses inside your backpack or jacket pocket. Do not let your personal items touch the plastic of the bin. Let your bag touch the bin. And the moment you are through the scanner, sanitize your hands. Break the chain of contamination before you go buy a sandwich. You are booking a flight. There is a 7 a.m. option and a 4 p.m. option. The 4 p.m. sounds better because you can sleep in. Don't do it. The atmosphere behaves differently in the afternoon. As the sun heats the earth, you get convection. Convection creates bumps. It creates thermal updrafts. It creates pop-up thunderstorms. Furthermore, airline delays are cumulative. If a plane has a 10-minute delay in the morning, by the afternoon, that plane has done 3 more legs, and that delay has compounded into a 2-hour delay. The 4 p.m. airspace is crowded. ATC starts metering arrivals. You end up circling. Here is the insider secret. Fly the first wave. Target flights between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. The air is cooler and smoother, less turbulence. The plane likely arrived the night before, so it is already parked at the gate waiting for you. It's not coming from Dallas with a mechanical issue. If your flight does get canceled, you have the whole day to get rebooked. If the last flight of the night gets canceled, you are sleeping in the terminal. Wake up early, sleep on the plane, arrive on time. Final point, and this one costs people thousands of dollars. You check a bag. Inside, you buried your laptop, your nice camera, maybe some expensive jewelry. You think, if they lose it or break it, they have to pay me. Wrong again. Domestic contracts of carriage almost universally exclude electronics, jewelry, cash, and business documents from liability. If they crush your $3,000 MacBook, they legally owe you $0. They will pay for the clothes, maybe the suitcase itself, but not the valuables. On international flights, the Montreal Convention caps liability at around 1,288 SDRs, special drawing rights. That's roughly $1,700 USD. That is a hard cap. If you have $5,000 worth of gear in that bag, you are eating a $3,300 loss. But I declared excess value. Doesn't matter. Most airlines won't even accept an excess value declaration for electronics. They know they break. The only way to be safe is following the liability gap rule. If it is expensive, it stays in your hand. Never check electronics. If the overhead bins are full and they force you to gate check your carry-on, you stop. You open the bag. You take out the laptop, the iPad, and the camera. You hand them the bag of clothes. You carry the expensive stuff onto the plane in your arms if you have to. Do not trust the hold with your livelihood. Travel in 2025 isn't about luck. It's about leverage. Small moves flip big switches. Choosing the carrier app over the aggregator. Checking Aerolopa instead of guessing. Renewing your passport 9 months early, not 6. Tracking your own bags. Eating right. Flying early. These are the habits of an operator. The system is designed to process tourists who don't know the rules, but now you know the code. Here is your to-do list for the next trip. Download the airline app, buy an AirTag, book the 7 a.m. flight, and for the love of God, keep your lithium batteries in the cabin. If you want more checklists and deep dives on how to master the travel stack, hit that subscribe button. I've got a companion guide linked below with all the tools I mentioned. Save this video, share it with your travel partner so they don't slow you down, and I'll see you at the gate, on time.